Welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, a podcast where we explore the complexities of love, loss, and self-discovery. Join Charlie Perry and Marvin Speller when life's unexpected twists and turns come our way. It's easy to lose ourselves in the process, but what if losing ourselves is exactly what we need to find our true selves? Join us as we dive into the depths of human experience, sharing stories, insights, and conversations that will challenge, inspire, and maybe even help you find your way again. Sometimes you have to lose yourself. Let's get started.
Hey, welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself. I am Charlie Perry, along with my great, fabulous five-star host, Marvin Speller, along with our guest, Tiza Chocolate Bryant. This lady is wonderful, and you guys are actually gonna hear her experience and her expertise. Why we listen to Coach. Coach is one of those guys that I've been around for a very long time, and every single week he impresses me. He does a whole lot of delivering without me actually even asking him. He delivers all the time when it comes to this podcast and many other things. So thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday. We are here a little earlier, but we have some things to do. We have some fabulous, wonderful, outstanding things to do in life. So we have to just reschedule our podcast because we know that you guys are going to be here for us like you have been for a very long time. And we're just trying to share with you our experiences and some of the knowledge that we have gathered over the years. And sometimes you have to lose yourself. What's going on, people? People,
Hi.
What's up?
hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah, no, right? What is it? Like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I think today really it's about sharing. We've done a lot of sharing, but I think some up close sharing really what we're going to do today.
Okay.
We're not going to do anything but that. I think it'd be a good idea for the three of us to really share. Just give people a story, and this is where I'm at. This is what I feel, and I think about when you share, you give like insights and certain realities. And sometimes I think, let's go a little bit off the beaten path and just do that. And I
Okay.
really think about today, we'll really talk about, well, how do you feel? What's making you feel that way?
Yeah.
And when did you come to the reality of how you feel? I think about, I feel great, man. I think it's important to be your best self because we have a lot of things that come our way, but a lot of times it's being our best self. And even before we get into the title longevity, being our best self really is a great part of longevity.
Hmm.
I think about that all the time. I think about some people who we've known who, in our ways, were their best self, but they didn't necessarily feel it or really be that way. And then when you think about our best self, right? How do you
It,
quantify that, Charlie? I
well,
mean, I think about, give me 1 second.
yeah,
I think about that and I'll finish what I have to say. And I'd love to hear what you're about to say. But how do you define what is your best self? I think about my mom. There's a statement she says all the time: don't take no wood nickels.
mm,
think sometimes your best self is all encompassing, right?
Yes.
So I think about, so go ahead when you say, and I'll go ahead and finish, but go ahead with you about to say.
I think, yo, when I'm at my best self, right? It's when I'm smiling, free of thoughts, right?
Hmm.
Where because guess what? My eyebrows are thick because God wanted people to know what I was getting ready to, what I was feeling. It's all on my face,
Hmm.
and the eyebrows indicate everything. They're just like, oh, what the hell is he thinking about? Excuse my language, but it's and when I'm thought free and I'm just going through where you have the smile and the gaps in my teeth showing, guess what? That's when I'm at my best self. And so that's what I that's when I know I'm at my best self, where things are not well, that's the happy side, right? I'm at myself even when things are stressed a little bit, because something just don't bother me. I'll adapt, I'll conquer, I'll find a resolution. That's what I do. I don't have any problem doing that. So being at my best self can be happy or sad.
I like you. I like what you just said because I think about, to have all those things, you have to have a certain level of, I would call, stability, right?
Hmm.
You have to have stability in your life. I think the things you talk about, like, is really mental. When I think about stability, I think about how you feel on the inside, and it starts there, right? Whether what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and all that, it's a conscious choice,
Yeah.
right? When I think about that, I think about the totality of wellness. And I think about the totality of wellness. It's like, well, where's my mind today? What am I
Hmm.
feeling today? Am I feeling stressed? And so, the things that can compromise your wellness is stress, right?
Yes.
And I think I know from my standpoint, and I've shared this a million times with you, my level of stress has been elevated throughout the years.
Yes.
Going through this whole grief process, and just not, when I think about wellness and wealth and health, and I haven't been there, but I hadn't made that conscious choice to look in the direction of being my best self. Now, when I think about late last year and on to this year was about a conscious choice, right?
Yes.
I think about the conscious choice I made was like, you know what? I got this new lease on life, and I feel extremely, extremely happy about it. And so I think about that, and when I think about the realities of that, um, how do you feel? And I think that's the barometer, because I think back to when somebody very important in my life was like, hey, listen, you have to keep moving forward because the world needs you and I need you.
Mm.
So that was kind of the first start. And you start to gather and collect things along the way, right? And then at some point you make this decision, right? And what I look about, and it's happened to me three times now, three times. And when I think about, I'll tell you a quick story. I think about hearing that the first time. The second time was like, you know what? I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to make this decision to enjoy my life again, believe it or not. And that's really what I've done and shared. First unpacking everything with the book, and then the first quarter of this year, I made another decision. It was like, you know what? I want a new lease on life, a new lease on life. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and activate myself.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about the lease on life, man, it's like nobody can get in the way of that. The only
Hmm.
person that gets in the way of that is you. So you allow yourself at some point that nothing's going to take your power away.
Exactly.
And so you start going in that direction, you start feeling that. And it's interesting when I think about throughout my life, so many things took my power from me, Charlie. So many things.
The
And that's, go
oh,
ahead.
I think you're when it comes to power and people taking it away from you, I think it was more a few years back than now.
You
And
mean for
correct
you or
me if
me?
you. I think you allowed people to take your power away from you years ago. I
How
think
so?
now it's so now it's different, right? I think you I think you was more of a I don't know how to explain it. There's a lack of words, but I think you were just going through a lot of things a little blinded. Now I think you analyze things a whole lot better over what you've been through. And if
I
I'm
think
wrong,
when
I'm
you're
wrong. But
intentional, you see everything different.
Yeah,
yeah,
you do.
yeah,
Well,
and
there's a good part of me, honestly, for both of you guys.
yeah,
Ultimately, I release attachment to things,
mm,
and that attachment is like caring what others think,
yep,
how their attitude or behavior affects me, and the choices that they make. So I give you something here. There was a period of time, especially coming outside of grief, where it was like I felt the world shrink around me, right?
hmm,
I felt it even before Kristen passed when she was ill. We both felt the world shrink around us, right? But then at some point, it was like, somebody's going to either understand or be there for you or they're not. That's ultimately, that removes attachment. Some people would call them counter intentions, right? Because
hmm,
they are in some ways counter intentions, right?
yeah,
When you worry about or think about these things that really don't matter, sometimes these are constructs you put in your mind that are not that don't benefit you, and really, really, really start to seep away your own wellness, right? And the key to your better self, right? And these things kind of start to leach from there.
yeah,
But ultimately, man, I have learned to walk away from many things. But one thing I will not compromise on is my well being. I can
right,
walk away from anything because I don't have my attachment to it, whether
yeah,
it's things, places, people, etc. Right? I can walk away from all that, but I won't walk away being my best self. I will never, ever, ever walk away or not make that a priority. And like I said, my second lease on life, or some would say third this year, where I was like, man, you know what? Because of things that went on in my life, right?
mhm, yep.
I was almost forced to a situation. You know what? You need to make that decision now. You need to make that decision now.
Now that's you talking to yourself, right?
Yeah, that was the echo in my head. Like,
Hmm.
what are you going to do? What are you going to do, brother? What are
Yeah,
you going to do? Honestly, and that's where there were a lot of little micro things that led to that, whether it was other people, etc. But it was like, you know what? When are you going to put yourself first? And honestly, this is the message where we have sent to people. This is the message where we continue to come from, was like, you know what? You have to make yourself a priority. You have to.
true, true, true. Yeah.
Because, I mean, what are you going to do?
Well,
That's always so important. I mean, I think about, hmm, I think it's about some people who are like, you know what? I have to always put those around me first. But have you ever noticed on the airplane, when the stewardess gets up, what's the first thing she says to you?
Put the mask on yourself before putting it on others.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. And it's sort it's the same thing with situations that are a little hot and bothered, and they try to tell you. They always tell you in different trainings, calm yourself down first, right?
Yep.
Make sure you're calm before you try to deal with the situation, because that's real important. Heated situation, you got to kind of de-escalate and calm yourself down, right? And do that first before you go to the next person. And that
Right.
goes with safety and wellness and everything. So I think it applies to everything. You start with yourself first. Practice what you preach. Theory without practice. You got to have that. You definitely have to have that. And so can't talk wellness if we're not doing it right. I can't talk wellness if I'm eating a Big Mac every day, or health and all that stuff.
Right.
Can't do it. Can't do it. So
But let me give it to you guys from a scientific standpoint, right?
yep.
So I studied microbiology and I studied everything gut bacteria and all that good stuff. And we always used to train people that what you're going through is a software problem. Now, if you look at a computer and the software is not going right, you can throw the software out, put new software in, and that computer works better.
Yes.
Still looks like an old computer, but if it can have a different software, it can be enhanced. We also know that your gut is software. See,
Hmm.
people are hearing about everything starts in the gut, but one question I always have for people is we hear a lot about getting healthy, but what does it actually mean on a deeper level for people? Because a lot of people don't even realize they're not in their own top. It's
Mm.
whatever your gut microbiome wants. It's whatever those bacteria want that you have cultivated inside of your body.
Yes.
When they're happy, you're happy. When they're sad, you're sad. When they're bothered, you're bothered. When they're
Hmm.
not sleeping well and they're not eating well, you're not sleeping well and eating well.
I
And
get it.
studying gut microbiology, which, mind you, it's the biggest, most amazing, quickest growing segment in the entire world. It's in the billions in the world.
Mm.
Anti-aging, 100 billion. This is in the billions with a B.
Yeah.
And everybody is not talking about it, but all the major companies know that gut microbiome is where everything starts to happen for people. It's where it regulates everything that goes wrong in your body. And people just don't talk about it.
Mm. Yeah. It's 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 definitely I feel, you know, after getting, especially with Coach, Marvin, years ago, talking about some of the things that I was doing, and um we talked about water and flavoring water, right? If you put something in the water, what happens is doesn't take it as water, it takes it as food because of whatever is in it. And I never knew that in my whole life until Marvin told me that.
I'm back.
And he's
Yeah.
back. I can't
But,
see you.
but it's also the same thing as when I tell people when you eat more water rich fruits and vegetables,
Hmm.
you're giving yourself what fight real vitamin water, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Instead of putting a vitamin in water, because that's a molecule called H2O.
Mm.
But what your gut microbiome eats is fermented water, fermented stuff. It doesn't drink the water you drink. So when you eat cucumbers, when you eat fruits and vegetables that have a way array of liquids that are nutrient dense, your
Hmm.
gut microbiome is throwing a party in your gut the minute you bring that in. But bring a whole bunch of starches in that are like what I call empty calories. You
Yeah.
get bloated, you get acidity. Your body's like, why did you do this to me? Have you ever noticed that when you had a great meal, you had a pep in your step, you had a smile on your face, you slept better, and then you went out to dinner, you ate some things you haven't eaten in a while, or you start eating clean and you start doing better for your health, whether you're getting activated or you're doing supplementation or you're finding a different way to biohack your health. Basically, biohacking is not a new term. It's basically finding a way and a different required outcome inside of your own biology and your body. You have machines that can biohack your sleep. I mean, I have glasses that can biohack my eyes, so I'm not looking at blue light lenses all the time.
Yep.
You can biohack by what looking at your wristwatch, telling you, "Hey, you made this many steps." So many people are using biohacking, and when we talk about it in a health perspective, it's almost like they don't understand because they have been programmed that biohacking is measurable in a measurable sense. Measure your eyes with biohacking, measure your sleep, measure your walk, measure your heart. But biohacking goes beyond that. The
Mm,
first biohacking was helping your own biology optimize so your body can work at its optimal function. And a
mm,
lot of people don't even know what optimal means and what optimal feels like.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They
Or are they even aware of what it's going to be like because they've gone so long without being balanced or optimized?
Yeah. And the thing about it is we got to go back to the question that we have to ask all of ourselves. You said, when is it your time? It's never your time if you don't decide.
Right.
See, people don't realize it's a decision. I can decide to take care of myself or I decide not to take care of myself. It doesn't matter if you're taking care of someone else. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm taking care of my house. I'm taking care of my husband. You're deciding not to take care of yourself and take care of everybody else.
True.
Right.
It's a decision that you make. And that decision that you make makes you feel good in that moment because you're giving to someone. Why is it still ringing? Because you're giving to someone, but that's not what it's all about. It's all about giving to self so you can help someone else other than self. But if you don't start with self, you're not going to get there.
Thank you. That's the point I was kicking around. It's like that
Hey, Co-
decision of helping yourself and just being at your best.
Coach, you're not visible. I just wanted to let you know.
I see him.
You see him?
Hmm.
All right. That's
Yeah,
on my end then.
I see you all well.
I think that the second step to that is okay, so now you made a decision to take care of yourself, right? And then now, where do you go? There's so
Right.
much out there. Now
Yeah.
you're confused. You finally got to that emotion. You finally have enough is enough. I finally got to go do something, and you see million and one thing out there, and you have no idea what to do. Even though they told you gut health is important, but where do you start? What do you eat? What do you drink? So then
Hmm.
you go on little TikToks and you get snips, little snapshots of what you need to do. You go on Facebook scrolling and you get little snapshots.
Right.
This is why we put a platform together where we come to the table and we start to help people understand where to start and where to start from the penthouse and not in the basement. Because when you go in little bits of information, you start at the basement level. But we are so advanced today. So
Right.
we don't want you starting at the basement level. We want you starting in the penthouse and feeling how it feels to start with the right things at the right time in the right place so you can get the right results so you're not wasting time. So many people that are finally looking at solutions are in their 50s and 60s because now the body's starting to fall apart. Now
Yep.
they're getting closer to retirement. They're what I call retired. Not tired, not retired, but retired,
We talk.
Mm,
You're right.
and their bodies are retiring from
Yep.
what they've been through and now they have no idea where to go. So
Right.
the platform that we've put together to teach about activation, to teach about where to go, how to go from supplementation to medication to activation, and why do you need activation, these things cannot be explained in a TikTok or a
Right.
Facebook Live. These things need to be explained in a forum like a Zoom where you can see other people that are doing it and how they've been able to experience that. And that's what I personally love about being a nutrigenomics educator for the past 16 years, which is the interaction between nutrients and natural compounds and how they affect your body. Now, do you need to immediately change your whole diet and become a vegan or a plant based? No, your body can handle a lot, but it
hmm.
just needs to know where to go, when to go. And one tip I always give people, you can take a one a day vitamin, but I'm going to tell you right now, your body discards of it like firework. It looks pretty, but it's a lot of debris, right?
Right.
You have certain vitamins that you can have during the day and your body picks them up when it's sun out and light out. And then you have certain vitamins that you have to take at night because those will be picked up in your body in the evening. People don't even know that about certain vitamins and micronutrients. They don't even know what micronutrients are. They can look it up and sound very intelligent, but they have no idea what the effect on your body is. I can give you the same diet somebody else is eating. You lose weight, they gain weight. Then they're like, yeah, but my body's different. It's the way you eat it and the time you eat it. I'm not going to eat a starch at night when my body's going to store it. I'm going to eat it during the day when my body's in motion. If I'm giving myself new information, I can't just give it to myself in snapshots. I got to get that information, get my questions answered, figure it out on my level that of knowledge, and then ask some more questions. And we're getting away from that because we've gotten so AI conscious and asking an AI element for something like, hey, Google, hey, Siri, hey, this. And we become the hey category people, and when you have people that are qualified, like me and other colleagues that have been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years and have been keeping up with what is here, and you're not even paying for this consultancy because we're just giving it away to help people, then they don't always understand how to get that information. So we have to break the cycle that snapshots is the way to go. We need more.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. I was explaining to her, like I just did, all the things I'm doing and how it's helping and all that. And she said, I just went into my closet and I have so many supplements.
Hmm.
And so a
Yeah.
lot of people think they really think they're doing something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And sometimes it's hard to break a new perpetual habit because you almost got to re-break it to really start, as you say, from the penthouse, not the outhouse.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about supplementation is like throwing a Dixie cup of water on a house fire.
Yeah.
We have to visualize it for people. If I just spent $300 to $400, and I've been doing this for years, and I've been activated, let's look at each other's skin. If you're telling me you're taking a great collagen, and I'm telling you I'm taking a collagen, but I look at your skin and I look at my skin, why is mine different and why is yours different? If we've both been taking it for the same amount of time, then you're going to say, but it's genetics. Yeah, but the world is still dirty and we're both breaking down at the same level.
Yep.
Mm.
Just what's in my formula that's helping my body at what level versus what's in your formula is helping you. So I'm always excited when people are taking supplementation, but that's like literally feeding a little part of a bigger part. I'd
Right.
rather activate my body to find what the deficits are and work on those and help those mechanisms where bodies can start to communicate and the body starts to work at its optimal level than try to figure out, oh, maybe I need to take so many milligrams, maybe I need to take so many IUs, maybe I need to take so many ORAC values. We are past that point. The world is too polluted for just that.
Well, I think that's amazing what you're saying. It's always you always seem to have like this infinite knowledge.
Yes.
But I think the most important question I would say to everybody is like, well, when is a good time to really get on the right side of just knowing what you're doing is working and really making a decision to be where you need to be or where you should be because it not only benefits you, doesn't it benefit the loved ones around you,
Mm-hmm.
friends and all that, friends and family? I mean, all that stuff makes a difference, right? And so I don't know. It's interesting when I've talked to many people lately. A lot of times, this is the answer you get often. Well, I've already started taking these supplements. I was talking to this lady who owns a boatload of hospice centers, and she talked about, well, I'm looking around and trying to look at what we can do because I know you asked me before about having my book there, and she said, you know what? I said, well, you know what? Perhaps it's the caregivers that we can focus on and the nurses and all that. She said, well, they already know about all that stuff. I said, "Oh,
Mm,
really?"
yeah.
I
So
would just ask them one question when they say they already know about all that stuff. I would say, give them a great analogy. Every hospice center is there for terminal care,
right,
but still, every hospice center gets different people. Why? Because different caregivers give different feelings, different connection, different emotions.
right,
When you're taking supplementation, it's like trying to figure out the emotion. When you're getting medication, is managing whatever the emotions bring. We want to just teach you about a new way of thinking, and that's called activation. Now, I know we got to get past the thought process, past the ego, past the knowledge.
right.
But thousands and thousands of people can be wrong about activation when you know it. And the beautiful thing I always tell people, give it 30 days. There is no way in 30 days that you can get activated and your body not talking to you. It
Yep.
No.
will talk to you. It will tell you, and it will show you the difference. I can't tell you how many people have told me, my body's balanced. I'm in my 60s. I don't want to take anything to mess with that balance. The
Yep.
absence of disease is not health.
Yes,
Mm,
that's a good point. Can you say it again?
The absence of disease is not health.
mm,
That doesn't mean you're healthy because you can go to bed, sprain your ankle, fall, and all of a sudden you go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, your blood pressure's high, your cholesterol's high. We found a legion on there and there because now they're
mm,
looking at you, and you have not been looking at yourself, and you can't run away or hide from that.
That's what happened to me. Which everything you just said.
yeah.
The doctor was like, "Okay, well, let's do a full panel," and then next thing you know, that's how it is, right? But I'm glad I decided along the way to activate myself. I attribute that to me feeling better, being better. My skin has gotten better. My hair is growing back some. So, I mean, I just feel better all the way around. When I think about what an activation could make a difference in your life, and it's everything. It's everything. And I would always invite anybody to be on the front side of activating yourself because so many have done that and they've benefited so much from that. I mean, Charlie, you have anything to say about that?
Um. Well, I mean, I'm glad I activated myself, and I'm on a quest to get healthier, have some wellness in my life. For all the reasons that Tiza just mentioned. You just because you're disease free, you don't. That doesn't mean it's health, right? So I'm very very happy that I am activating myself, and definitely can't wait to evaluate it in a week or so, maybe even 2 weeks, but whatever. I just want to, can't wait for that day to I mentioned about theory without practice, right?
Hmm.
And I can't wait because I can't be practicing some of the things that we're practicing on this podcast and many other things
Right.
unless I feel it and I know it. And guess what? I think I'm there. I think I'm there.
Well,
I'm going to give you guys a basketball analogy.
Yep.
okay.
So it's like saying, um, a basketball person that we all don't know is training me to play
Hmm.
the best basketball, or a Steph Curry training me how to do 3-point shots, or a LeBron James training me. When you have a LeBron James training you that's spending $21 million a year in his body, in his health, at his age, you'd think he would get a little bit more different information than you at your supplemental level.
Right.
Mm,
We're giving you $21 million research development information that you have no knowledge of. Even doctors that you talk to, that we talk to on a daily basis, are saying, wow, I know this exists. I didn't know we had an answer for this. I know
Right.
this exists. I didn't know we had an answer for this. I thought it might be 10, 15 years from now. I'm like, I've been working with this for 16 years. They're like, what? And how come you haven't heard about it?
mm,
How come you haven't heard about it? Is because when you hear about things like this, they're usually like, oh no, don't talk about this because it's going to mess up the whole conglomerate. No, it won't. A lot of people still are not going to do this because a lot of people have been programmed for years that when you're deficient in something, you take supplementation. When you have something with an illness, you take medication. Medication manages. That's why they call it a practice. When it's not working, what does the doctor tell you? Hey, Marvin, we gave you so many milligrams, and you say you're still not there. Let's try now so many milligrams.
Mm.
Right.
And you go to a practice and you don't even listen to the word. It says practice. When you come to us at the table, we're not practicing. Okay. We go straight to the root cause. We help the body do what it's naturally designed to do. And you play a whole different key and you wake up one morning and you're like, Coach, right here. Whoa, look at my numbers. Look at
Mm.
what my doctor said. And you know what I love about doctors and even naturopaths? When they start seeing what you're doing with activation, the first thing they say is, wow, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're
They
not
always
going to say, give me what you're doing because they're working for the hospital and you're a patient in the hospital and that would be considered a clash. They can't mess with you as a patient. So they
right.
can't do what you do, but you can refer them to somebody else that can help them get there that's not in the hospital. We can talk to them like we've been talking to hundreds of doctors,
Yeah.
naturopaths, chiropractors, endocrinologists, oncologists. They all are like amazed. So imagine them being amazed about this information. And now you're going to talk to a brother, a father, a mother, a sister. They're not going to be amazed. They don't even understand what they're hearing.
Mm.
Even though it's that simple, they're not understanding because they haven't heard it so many times. But when they come to the table 3 to 4 to 5 times, I'm going to give you guys an example that's going to happen and you're going to tell me about it later. There's some people right now that are looking at both of you. They're seeing your results. They're checking you out. You're going to be at the family reunion. You're going to be at a barbecue this summer. And somebody's going to say, I've been seeing your podcast. I've been looking at you. What's different about you? I've been hearing you. Got a little pep in your step. You're doing really good. And then you're
Hmm.
going to talk to them about what you're doing. And they're going to be like, I can't do this. But the minute somebody in the family has a challenge, you know what they're going to do? You got to go talk to Marvin. You got to go talk to Charlie. They got
Yeah.
that thing that they're doing. I know it. I've been there for years, helping people that are not even my own family. I've helped them for years with their health. I even had to talk to my own mom and dad and explain to them why this is important. They paid for my schooling to get a PhD, a master's degree, and I still had to talk to my parents and explain to them why this is important.
Mm.
So imagine
Yeah.
you trying to explain it also to the people that you love. It's mostly the people that you love that don't even, but they're looking at you like, but Marvin does this in his real life. But Charlie does this in his real life. How are you going to talk to me about health and wellness? Tirsa does health and wellness. She's been doing it for 30 years. So everybody
Hmm.
knows that's what's going to come out of my mouth, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it is the same outcome. I still have to explain to them why this is important. And they
Yeah.
still have to make an adult decision and put the big girl pants and big boy pants on and make a decision to do something.
Yeah. You got to make that decision. And you know
We
what?
we
Here's
don't
here's.
want you in we don't want you in big boy pants, right?
It might look good on me. I don't know. I can sport
well,
anything.
well, you know, here's the decision. We're gonna go back and we're gonna invite a ton of people because I think there's much more information to share that you really can't do in the podcast. We're gonna send a mass invite, Charlie, you and I,
Hmm.
get people to know what is the secret. Because we talked the past, 45 minutes on what the secret is, right? And how we got to this point. Because I think we collectively, we talked about this to build to this point where we tell people how much we love them and how much we love them. Loving, sharing is caring.
Yes.
So I think we've done a bunch of that, of our own personal lives and all that. But I think it's important to share more, really put it out there to get people to come on and say, listen, I think you need to hear this. Because you know what? We have to share with the world. This is why we do this. Why are we doing a podcast? We're doing it to share with people. Hey, how we're doing. Hey, these things have happened to us, but guess what? This is how we're doing now. That was then. This is now. Charlie, what do you think, brother?
And just on that note, I actually made sure that I took this podcast, right? And shared it on every group. You and I we're on a lot of groups, and
We are.
but you know what? If it's groups that total 20, 30, 40,000 people, right?
Right.
I'd rather take 40 people, right?
Right.
Maybe just one person from each group, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 and it works out.
I'm
So
sure some people who are watching right now, because this is live on Facebook too, right?
yes, sir. It's on
I
all our pages, all three of our pages.
I can imagine there's always some people that will just pop their head in, see
Hmm.
what you're doing. You get a
Yeah,
fair share of those everywhere, everything we've done, because people have told me, hey, listen, you may not know what you're doing, but you're affecting a lot of people.
yeah, yeah.
And I got to tell you, where we're at now, what we have to continue to share with people, we will continue to do because we're just scratching the surface. And I
So
got to tell everyone out there, we're going to share with love with you all. And we're going to continue to do that because that's what we do. This is what we set out to do. Because I think about it. If you knew something that could help somebody and then you didn't tell them, how would that make you feel?
yeah,
The biggest
and
thing I notice is that we have a lot of amazing podcasts. I'm part of so many podcasts where I'm listening. A lot of people give information, not a lot of people give any immediate solutions.
mm,
Right.
This is why I love being on my platform as well, because we give solutions. For the past 16 years, I have had hundreds of people in 19 countries. We're about to open country number 20 with countless different things. And there's nothing more satisfying than getting letters from languages, names that you could never even pronounce.
yeah,
Because you might have not left the United States and realize that there's so many international people. We all speak one same language. Everybody wants to have better health.
yeah,
Everybody would like to not feel anxious about what's happening in the way of the world right now and feel stressed. Everybody would like to have a little bit more income because right now they don't feel secure if something happens. Everybody speaks that same language all over the world.
mm,
But one language that I've come accustomed to hearing is I need, but I think I can't.
yeah,
I'm changing that to I need, I want, and I know I can't.
Hmm.
Because even
it,
if you don't think you can't, you can, because you first need to come to the table, get the information, and then we give you the solution. So we're not even sprinkling just information. We're just literally telling you A equals B, B equals C, and then something happens. And that something is your body getting back together. Your body finding its way back. Because right now, I can tell you, you're listening to this podcast, your cells are going from A to F, F to G, G to H. And
mm,
one of these days it's going to malfunction because it's already happening at the cellular level. And if you want to get well, it starts at the cell. You want to get more energy, it starts with the cell. You want to get your gut microbiome in check, it starts with the cell and it starts with microbes. Do you know you're more microbial than you are cellular?
mm,
And then you're not even taking care of those little guys that do all the heavy lifting in your body. You brush your teeth every day. You eat every day and you wonder why this vessel that needs to be repaired, rebuilt, restored, and you have no access to repair, rebuild, restore, and we're literally giving you access to repair, rebuild, restore. You think you're gonna feel a little bit better than when you supplement or
yeah.
medicate.
Some people like we always have that saying. I grew up with it, and we say it a lot on this podcast. But listen to your body. Listen to your body. So there's many people that get out of bed, right, and they're like, oh, yeah, they're aching, and that the bed's supposed to be the most comfortable spot in the house, and
Right.
you're feeling some aches and pains, and from when you leave that bed and get and touch the floor, and listen to your body, right? Let's activate it. And some people are just slow on it, like that routine, little knock in your knees and all those different sounds that your body's giving off to you. You hear them?
Yeah.
Or go walk into the kitchen, opening your fridge, and then forgot what you were getting in the fridge. People don't realize you're depleting something called your mitochondria. You're thinking about a thought, and mid thought, you've already lost the thought. And it
Mm-hmm.
takes you a few minutes to get that thought back. Or you're talking to somebody in mid sentence, it's like you got a little case of the sometimers. Sometimes you hear something, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you understand something, sometimes you don't. It starts with those things that are literally from a scientific standpoint. This is me telling you that your cells are talking to you, but people have never been trained to listen to when their cells are talking, to listen to when their gut microbiome is talking. Only
Mm.
when they get a diagnosis or a discomfort do people think they need to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's that that is so true. And you may feel like you're healthy, but just by looking, because you're absent of disease does not mean you're healthy, to what Tirsa was
Yeah.
saying, which is so true.
Mm.
I thought I was healthy until I fell. And I wasn't. My vitals were all over the map.
Mm.
And at that point was like, you know what? It's almost too late right now. But why don't you just try?
Yeah.
And honestly, man, I tell you, that's everything.
I'm so happy you said, even though you thought it was almost too late, you tried. But listen to why that happened to you. A friend picked up the phone and called you and didn't think for you. And then
Mm.
you did the next best thing. You listened, you asked questions, you got answers, and you did something. So it's a 3 point. It's not just, it's a win win situation. You have somebody that is close to you with the information, with the solution, not knowing what you were going through in the moment, but right there at the right place at the right time, because it's when it's for you, no man or woman can stop it. When
Mm.
it's your time for something to happen to you, whether it's getting sick, getting a diagnosis, and we're all one step away from diagnosis, and we're all one step away from bankruptcy, medical bankruptcy, because a
Mm.
lot of us are not ready for medical bills when they come. When I got diagnosed, my gosh, the bills were astronomical. You come out the hospital without a diagnosis, yeah, you're this free, you're good, you're in remission, but then you almost get a disease process looking at the bill.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like crazy. And this is the world we live in. We live in a world where we've become like, we've accepted the status quo and it's not there. We live in a world where everything is getting better. We have better information, better resources, and we have people that can get them to you. And it
That's
might not always come in the form of a nutritionist or a doctor. It can come in a form of you just doing something good for yourself and seeing it and giving it to someone. How many people watched the video of somebody cooking something and said, "Oh, I want to try how to make it," and you made it? They weren't a chef. They just put what they're passionate about on the video
yep.
and they made it. And
Yeah.
after they made it, you're like, "Oh, that cake looked good. I need to make this pistachio cake." But when you saw the recipe and it was long, you're like, maybe I'll make a different cake. And that's what people do with their health.
Mm.
They
Well,
watching these videos and thinking they can do it, and then when they see what they need to do, they're like, maybe another day.
I want to add something to that.
Yeah.
There's this thing that's always lurking in the background. It's called oxidative stress.
Mm.
These are these things that impact us, whether it's an electronic field, whether it's what we breathe, where we're at. I mean, all these things happen to us, right? And then you throw other things in, but this oxidative stress, right, causes these ailments in your body. And here's the thing, you never know. Are you one incident away from having that oxidative stress work against you? Now, I think about, we live in an apartment building that was renovated 4 years, 4.5 years ago. And I remember Kristen being home every day.
Mm.
And They put a lot of signs that a lot of things that we're doing or tearing down in the state of California has been known to cause cancer. And guess what?
Toxicity.
And guess what? This may have been, I don't know, I'm not going down that rabbit hole, but you never know. It could be like a whole week of elevated stress, and then your body, things will just start happening to you, right? And so to beat off these things is so beneficial. And I this is what I've led with a lot of people. It's like, listen, you never know. Are you one incident away from having something that's catastrophic to you? Whether it's the bills and whether it's something that you're having a hard time wrapping yourself around. So it would always be beneficial to anybody to really be very proactive with your health. Don't be reactive. I was in the reactive mode recently, and that was not a good feeling. So I would always say that, and this is why we're going to invite everybody.
And you got blindsided.
I did. I was in the reactive mode though.
But you went right on top of it. I think that was your saving grace. You were right here, and you could go right, and everything became right, or you could have gone left, and you just went right, and everything got right in the quickness. It
Yeah.
didn't happen like months from now. It happened days, then weeks, and every week you were calling. You were like, because I remember getting calls from you, and you were so happy and so surprised at the same time. It's not that you didn't believe, the numbers make sense. Numbers don't lie. People can
Numbers
tell
don't
you
lie.
all day long something else. But what I loved about your response was, man, I need to tell the world. I
Mm,
cannot believe my numbers. I cannot believe what's happening to me. I'm so happy I listened. I'm so happy I did, because a lot of people listen, but they don't do right away. And I always tell people, when you do it, you're going to get the results. You cannot just,
Going to get the
you're a
result.
living, breathing, what we call organism, but a living, breathing person, you're going to get results. You just have to make it not even a priority. You just got to make it and make that decision. So, do you know what is that? Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I think that's a good one. Let me tell you what activation is. Activation is helping your body go from the basement to the fifth floor, the fifth
mm,
floor to the penthouse of a luxury hotel. So the minute you start activating, you go into a luxury hotel. Now, if you've ever been into a seven-star hotel, like I was in Abu Dhabi at the Bull Al Jarab Hotel, which is a seven-star hotel, and you can go and dine as a chef. That was like the highlight of my life. You can go down so many floors and you see the sea and you're eating
Wow.
mm.
there. And then you go up and you see the most amazing things all over the world in Burj Al Sharab.
Wow.
Nice.
When you're getting activated, you go into a luxury hotel that you've never been able to go into, that you've never been able to afford. And just in the basement is already as beautiful as the first floor, the second floor. But when you get to the penthouse, you're experiencing something that you've never experienced in your entire life. A euphoric feeling. When you tell your body to jump, your body asks you how high. When you look around, your body is clear. You have a pep in your step. You have the motion, that lotion that's lubricating all your bodies. And your body's like, where have you been? It
Mm.
doesn't matter how old you are. We can definitely get your body right where it needs to be. And if anybody told you differently, they just did not have the knowledge that we have, that you can reverse the damage inside of your body no matter what age.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running again. My goodness. I mean, that feeling of take the person who's not walking to start running again, that feeling, that elation. I mean, my goodness. And you talk to anybody, you can go anywhere. Hey, and for them to go from not being as mobile to being mobile again, that's huge. And like I said,
Exactly.
we're gonna keep sharing that story because that's not just the numbers, it's the feeling.
We
And
have a moral obligation to share because we have a moral code. We truly care about people. Truly. There's so many people that say they care about people, but then when you need them, they can't count on you because everybody's so busy.
right,
They
Mm.
still care about you, they still love you, but their life is too busy and they're not specialized in what we're specialized in. So
Right.
we really need you to come to the table, get the information, come in the room where it happens. I always like to do that with, I love musicals, and I always said, come in the room where it happened in Hamilton.
Mm.
Right.
I'm not gonna waste my shot. I'm not gonna miss my shot. I saw you take a shot, and I was like, look at you. Look at where you've gone. And Charlie, I'm so excited for Charlie and Marvin, because what you do is special. What you have is special. And you're bringing it to a whole nother level, because special information gets people information that they didn't have yesterday, but they can also check it out on AI, what we say. They can also check it on Google. They can
Mm,
also go to Google Scholar and check it out, right? Somebody could
Mm-hmm.
be making a transcript right now and say, hey, chat, what did they talk about? Explain it to me. People can get more of an explanation today, but one thing they cannot get, what we all have that AI cannot do. AI does task. We do heart. We do
Mm.
eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly, and we're here for you. We do aftercare. You're going to call us. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to guide you. We're going to help you. It's not a one and done.
yeah.
Yes.
No, no one done. And so, Charlie,
Yep.
we're gonna make a monster post on all our platforms,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna invite everybody we know. We're gonna kick this thing off again.
All right. I'm all
Invite
for it,
everybody.
man.
Let's get together and make something. We'll post it tomorrow and
Yep.
get everybody engaged, and we'll get them to a not something very close of when we can get everybody together, because I think it's incredibly important. That's just what I feel.
Let's
Yep.
give
I
some
agree.
gifts away. People that come to the call, we'll do a raffle and they'll get a 30-minute session with me, free of charge.
Oh,
That
that's
will
great.
change your entire life.
Okay.
And they will get, the first prize is going to get an hour with me with Mama Vega and Mama Vega Enterprise, and me with Body Empire. That is a value of at least $6,000. I'm just saying. And
Yeah.
we will put them in the right perspective and in the right place to help them out. And the second place is going to win 30 minutes, and the third place is going to win something too, and it's really fun. And I'm going to tell you guys that. So we're going to give away three prizes. We're going to give away our time, that is more valuable than any other stuff we can give you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we're
Awesome.
going to do it privately with you. And you're also welcome to bring your family, because lots of times we tell people, you got an hour with us, but it doesn't have to just be you. It could be you and your family.
Right.
Mm.
You could, a lady did that to us. And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. I'm going to start telling people. She said, you gave me an hour. You didn't say it was just for me. So I got my husband, I got my, my friend, my sister, my baby sister, and
That's
I got
right.
my grandma
Yeah.
and my two cousins.
People are
Tears of
selling
tears
packages
of be
like that online, and we're giving it away.
yeah, Tears of became a keynote speaker and she didn't
I
even
became a
realize
keynote speaker to the family. And you know what? It was the best time I had. They had all these amazing questions, and we worked with that family for almost a whole month. And we changed their whole paradigm, and that will change the whole trajectory of that family, because now they know different information. They're gonna do something different, and it's amazing. So, good evening, all. Great topic, interesting. Hi, Michael. I'm so
Michael.
happy. Come to one of our Zooms. I would love to see you. He's winning the best dress for me right now. I love his picture on his post.
that's
Hmm.
it. It's amazing. I like no I didn't say this, but thank you everyone that's on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I appreciate you coming in and listening to these facts, right? This professionalism that we have displayed on this screen. All right. These are two people, all right? These are two people that I admire, and they could just say something to me and I would just go instantly, like follow their lead. I don't have any problem with these two people leading me. Mama Vega is in here. I don't have any problem with her leading me, right? It's that simple, right? And as my family and friends that are on there, right, or even strangers, you come on this podcast and to follow us, right? I'm leading you into a conversation. And I need you all to lead me, follow me into this wellness, into this health, right? Activate your body. It's guess what? It's simple. It's simple. We have the facts to guide you in this, right? So on that note, go ahead, Marvin.
No, I just say thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming on and
Yeah.
breaking bread with us. And we're going to do this a couple times. We're going to get people. We're going to
Hmm.
continue to get people. So we're going to start with this massive post. We're going to get that out. We're going to get some tips and all that from Tears on what to make in the post. We're going to get people on. We're going to continue to talk about this. The more and more I talk about this, the more and more excited I get. And so we're going to continue to lead with our heart.
Live
Awesome.
with passion, eat with purpose, and we cannot wait to see you in a room where it happens.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we man, that we, the Zoom is something. It's this was amazing, but right, you get Dr. Teaser in that Zoom, man. She
Yeah,
just
we're
like,
going to have a
oh,
great presentation for you all.
yeah,
It's a little
she's
bit
like,
too rich for this,
yeah,
for the podcast. We want to get you guys on and give you
yeah,
more goodies, more goodies. So thank you all. We love you from the bottom of our heart.
that's right. These guys are the 4th of July every day, fireworks, boom, 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 boom,
Oh, I love
boom.
that.
They just got it for you, man. It's not just a show, man. We got some excitement for you,
Thank
and
you, my
come
brother.
join us. All
Thank
right,
you, Dr. Tearson.
Dr. Teaser,
Always, you
thank
guys
you.
are welcome.
Okay. And we'll
Coach,
get to
I
work on
appreciate you. And I'll put the clips up just in a few more moments.
it.
And
Don't forget the music.
that's right. That's already ready, man. I'm not singing for you, but I got a nice outro for you folks. And
One day you can sing it, brother.
I will. I'm practicing. Gotta get some tips from Terza so I can keep my voice right.
I'm sure it's
And
right.
I'm
yeah,
very proud of you guys. This is going to save some lives, and
We are.
it's going to put people in position to say to their family what their family said. You giving me an hour, I'm getting as many people as I know that I care
mm,
about on that hour. And it's a really great way to help an entire family. And I tell people today's day, it's you or 3 to 4 to 5 or 6 people, I don't care. You get an hour. So as many people as you want, go help them.
That's amazing.
yeah, that is.
Thank you so much for offering that.
Yeah,
Always.
thank
It
All
you,
right.
starts
thank
with
you.
a help. It starts with them coming to the table, and it starts with us reaching out our hands to help.
That's what we're going to
Awesome.
keep doing.
Thank you guys. Have an amazing rest of your evening.
Thank
You
you.
also. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, a podcast where we explore the complexities of love, loss, and self-discovery. Join Charlie Perry and Marvin Speller when life's unexpected twists and turns come our way. It's easy to lose ourselves in the process, but what if losing ourselves is exactly what we need to find our true selves? Join us as we dive into the depths of human experience, sharing stories, insights, and conversations that will challenge, inspire, and maybe even help you find your way again. Sometimes you have to lose yourself. Let's get started.